Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Kimchica and I'm here with another Indiescovery, this one of Semblance, which is an indie game that released yesterday on July 24th, so it is hot off the press. Semblance is an indie that takes the fundamental element of platformers, the platform, and they put their own squishy spin on it. Not only that, but they're also the first South African team to have a Nintendo game, or to have a game released on the Nintendo platform, so congratulations to the Nyamakop team. It is well deserved. And thank you to Sandbox Strat for providing me with a review key for this game. For those of you watching, this doesn't affect my views or the opinions that I provide about the game, it just is really appreciated. So again, thank you to Sandbox Strat. So let's jump in and see if this indie brings back all of those good memories of using Play-Doh as a kid, or if it just falls flat. In this puzzle platformer, the world is moldable, and cute, and squishy. But a threat has infiltrated and is feeding off of the Play-Doh world, turning it into hard crystal. To help stop the progression and fight back against this crystal, a guardian of the world creates Squish, an adorable ball of dough who must collect the world essence spheres and restore everything back to its original state. Throughout the worlds you'll visit, you'll uncover a bit more narrative that'll allow you to piece together the context of these events and a little bit more of the story. This game does a beautiful job allowing the player freedom to piece together and interpret this world without using words or explicitly explaining all of the details, and I really appreciated that. Semblance also just feels good to play. You know that feeling of an itch that you can't quite reach, but somehow you manage to bend your arm and finally you get it? This game feels like the game version of that. The spheres are always just out of reach, but being able to push the platforms up and down to be able to transform the world around you is so immensely satisfying. Each puzzle has essentially two parts: setting up the platforms and your path, and then figuring out how to actually use the path to get to the sphere you need. The beauty of this game is that it encourages experimentation. You can easily reset specific areas you've manipulated, and if you happen to die while trying things out, the whole puzzle is not reset. Squish is just sent back to the start. These details prevented me from ever feeling frustrated with the game, because it never felt like the game was working against me. Because of this, I'd highly encourage anyone who feels intimidated or is brand new to the puzzle platformer genre to give this one a shot, because in that way it is quite forgiving to players. Not all platforms are moldable, and they're also not all movable for infinite stretches and directions, so the challenge does lie in how efficiently you can move and pound and squish the platforms to get to your goal. When squishing and stomping on these platforms, I did notice the occasional stick. Squish would sometimes get stuck in the middle or on the edge of the platform. Nothing I couldn't wiggle out of, or occasionally I had to press the pause button to see if it would work, and it did. But it happened rarely enough that I felt this probably wasn't a more tactile feature of the game, but maybe some minor glitching. Again, nothing that affected gameplay immensely, but it did happen enough to be noticeable. The puzzles vary in difficulty, and while there were a few that stumped me for a time, there's the ability to leave any puzzle and come back to it later. In fact, the game allows you to move between the three worlds and all of the puzzles embedded within them however you please. And when I experimented with this, I found I actually could move between the worlds non-consecutively without trouble. It wasn't just some blind promise. Of course, being the linear and I guess boring person that I am, after I experimented with that a bit, I then went back to completing the three worlds consecutively, but for those of you who live on the edge, go for it. Play any puzzle in any order. The sound and visuals of this game are the cherry on top of the fantastic gameplay. The worlds each have their own color palette and theme, and the creatures within these worlds are unique and lively. I enjoyed running through the crowds of critters and hearing the sounds that they'd make. And the soundtrack? Possibly one of my favorite game soundtracks of the year thus far. Nyamakop, the studio responsible for this title, is based in South Africa, and you can hear the African influence in their music. And it moves between being relaxing and perfect for contemplating strategies for each puzzle, to crescendoing to almost epic feeling proportions. Somehow it always seemed tied to my lightning bolt moments when I finally understood each puzzle, and I don't know if that was perfect timing on my part, or coincidence, or intentional sound design, but whatever it was, the soundtrack works wonderfully with the game. Semblance is a platformer you should not miss. The controls feel great, puzzles are challenging but not frustratingly so, and the visual and sound design are impeccable. While the game only takes about 3 to 4 hours to complete, it leaves you wanting more, and which is all I could ask of any gameplay experience, and its format and short duration are perfect for busy gamers who want something they can complete, as well as something they can easily pick up and put down while on the go. Have you picked up Semblance? What do you think? Or are you planning on it? And I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below, and I'd love to hear if you also, like me, are really wanting to get some Play-Doh right now. And if you enjoyed this Indiescovery, be sure to hit that like button and check out some of the other videos on my channel. I focus on highlighting, reviewing, and curating indie games so it's easier for you guys to find what you love and just really celebrate the games that are out there, because there are so many. And if you enjoy live streams, be sure to find me on twitch.tv/Kimchica Monday through Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, or just small plug for my work channel on twitch.tv/Utomic, where I stream Monday and Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific time. In both streams, I always feature indie games, or nearly always feature indie games, and in both streams, they're just full of wonderful people who want to relax and celebrate games just like you. So I hope to see your face there sometime. And I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, finding lots of wonderful games to play, and generally just having a wonderful time. So I will see you in the next video.